Yellow. What's up, you guys? It's MikeyBall56 here with another video. So, today, this is going to be part 3 of the fishing series. So, a very important part in fishing is choosing your location. Obviously, there's a decent chance, if there's fish, you'll catch them with live bait. But bait is going to be part 4. So, now that you have the tools you need, you've picked out your rod and reel, you're going to need a spot to fish. So if you chose rivers or creeks, where you're going to want to fish, so I just drew out this little map right here. If right here is a pond or a lake, where the river or creek goes empties into the lake, or the lake empties into the creek, that's going to be a good spot for big bass, catfish. Bluegill, not so much, because bluegill are going to be the bait a lot of the times. Bluegill and bait fish there are going to be the baits, because what happens is those fish will swim up the creeks, especially in the fall, looking for shad, bluegill, and minnows, bait fish like that are going to be heading up there for the winter, or opposite. So that's definitely a spot. If you see an area with a creek emptying into a lake, or opposite, a lake emptying into a creek, that's definitely a spot you're going to want to try for at least an hour, because there's a decent chance that if there's fish there, you're going to catch them because they're there for food. So the next spot is more on rivers. So if you're fishing on rivers, a very important part is to look for bends, because this area may not be as deep, and this area may not be as deep. But right here, where that water pushes the current, it can actually make areas more shallow or deeper on either side of these bends. And another thing is, if it's a stronger moving river, the bait fish can actually get caught in the current, and then big fish like catfish, bass, depending on where you're fishing, gar, that's more like down south, but you can definitely have good luck in bends like this for pretty much all types of predatory fish, whether that's bass, bluegill, catfish, walleye especially, if it's a deeper river. Definitely something to think about. So now that this spot is the bend, you're going to want to know where to cast, because that's also just as important as picking out the spot. So as you can see, anything that's highlighted in yellow here is definitely a spot that you're going to want to cast. Now this middle line pointing this way with that arrow is where the current is flowing in this said river or stream. So this area, all in here, is going to tend to be a whole lot deeper than over here or over here, because the river will actually pick up during big rainstorms, and it can make that area a lot deeper. So what you're going to want to do is, especially this middle spot is going to be especially good for big catfish, because they will wait for things like bluegill, shad, minnows, perch, even smaller catfish to get caught in that current, and they will wait and eat those. So for bass and bluegill, you're going to want to go, or bass, you're going to want to go here and here, because those spots are going to be a little less current, which can be very good. Especially catfish will go here and here, but they'll especially be there because that's where a lot of the bait is going to get caught, and catfish are going to want as much food as they physically can get. Now, if you're fishing for catfish, a good pointer is fresh bait that's in the river is way better than store-bought stink bait or anything. But you can never go wrong with night crawlers. For bass, I would suggest the same thing, live bait, or if you don't want to fish with live bait, fish with things like crankbaits, jerkbaits, shallow body frogs occasionally. If you're fishing in a creek, you can get some good luck on shallow body frogs, especially if there's cover. Now that's another thing. If there is cover in this spot but not this spot, fish this spot before this spot, or anyway. If there's cover, you can catch fish most of the time, because they like that structure. They like being able to feel safe, because it's harder for predatory fish to get in there. So that's definitely something to think about. Now, off of the topic of lake or creeks, rivers, you're going to want ponds. Now, ponds are a lot more common if you're in my area, and it's something to definitely think about. So, when you're fishing ponds, you want to look for a couple things. One way you can never go wrong is fishing at a pier. There is a decent chance that if you want to catch fish, you can put a night crawler on a hook and drop it down, and you will catch bluegill. Almost every single time. Now, if you want things more like catfish or bass, you're going to want to look for things like that, which would be cover. Anywhere with cover is very good for bass. Now, catfish and then some predatory fish like walleye will prefer deeper water. So that is a deep channel right there. You definitely, if you know of a deep channel, definitely fish there. Fish piers, that is a river mouth or creek mouth. Definitely fish there because bait fish can get caught in there. So definitely all places to fish. Structure, piers, deep areas, river mouths, and deep channels. Like on the edge of this channel, it's definitely a good spot to fish. Now, I know I didn't go into a lot of detail with ponds, but ponds are a lot easier to figure out on your own, and that's definitely something you want to work on, is trying to learn the lakes that you fish, because when you learn those lakes and where the fish are, what type of fish there is, what size those fish are, that's important when you're choosing baits, and I'll explain that in the next video. And to anyone wondering, yes, the next 2, 3, and 4 are all filmed in the same day. What I'm doing is I'm posting 3 videos in one day. So if you like this series and you want to see more, and then even actual fishing videos, like this video, like all the videos, because then that will spread the videos more. It will get on more people's recommended, which will help my channel grow, which means I can put out better videos and I'm not filming on a phone. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.